Welcome back to Whiskey Wonder Woman. In today's video, I received 4 samples from Limestone Heritage Distilling Company. They sent me 4 of their tastings in exchange for my honest review. It's not paid, so you know I'm going to be honest. Let's get started. Just FYI, Limestone Heritage Distilling Company is still in their building phase, and they plan to open their distillery in 2027, which is located right behind the Woodford Reserve Distillery, so look out for them soon. Let's get started with Bloodlines first. Bloodlines is 95 proof, and it's a small batch coming from their super premium barrels aged from 6 to 9 years old. Okay, let's go in for the nose. The aroma is really sweet. It reminds me of a candied fruit. I think the aroma for this is cherry and vanilla. Yeah, it reminds me of cherry vanilla Coke or maybe a Dr. Pepper because there are some spices in here, but overall it is super sweet. I'm really enjoying the aroma so far. And this is just 95 proof. I'm excited to go in for this taste. Cheers. I will say it's a little light, but there's a lot of spices coming in the end. I think there's a lot of honey in the taste because a lot of the spices were a little mellowed out, or it's because the proof is low. All right, let me check what the tasting notes are for this one. The mash bill for Bloodlines is 78% corn, 13% rye, and 9% malted barley. The nose, bright honey cherries. I said cherries. Soft, rounded baking spices. I definitely get the baking spices. Palate, full and rich in the mouth. Candied melon. Wow. I never thought about melon before, but it was light and fruity. Not like apples, not like cherries. I don't really know melon in whiskey, but I will say there was some type of fruit that was on the lighter note. Melon, wow, that's a first for me. With warm biscuit. I didn't get warm biscuit, but I did get a lot of like baking spices. And if we're talking biscuit, like creamy and buttery, I didn't get that either. Finish, long and easy finish. I agree with the easy finish. Heightened with the Kentucky Love Hug. Lingers around the secondaries for a couple minutes. It definitely does linger a little. I will say there is a little bit of fruitiness still left on my palate, but overall, not bad. Okay, next up we have the Limestone Heritage Select Batch. This is at 113 proof. This is also coming from barrels that are aged from 6 to 9 years old, and it has the same exact mash bill as the Bloodlines small batch. This aroma is much sweeter. Like this was sweet, but this is more densely sweet. It's more thicker. My note here is not honey, it's caramel. So I'm getting caramel, I'm getting cherries. It's very sweet. It reminds me of a caramel drizzle, but it's really fruity. I really enjoy this aroma. Let's go in for the taste. First taste was really smooth, and then it got spicy. It was basically Bloodlines, but more concentrated. Spiciness exploded in the back of my mouth, but it went down pretty smooth. The lasting finish that I get, it's like a candied fruit. It's finishing off really sweet. Let's see what the tasting notes are for this. Okay, it says for nose, rich caramelized poached pears. Wow. I've never smelt pears or never said pears in my aroma. I get more caramel than anything. I could agree that it could be like a pitted fruit, like pears. Then it says with hints of spices and turned dark earth. I have no idea what that means. Palate, soft brown sugar, warm spice, stone fruits. Okay, I did say stone fruits. Not in that way, but close enough. Finish, long, clean finish with secondaries of cinnamon. I do agree that there were spices at the end that just, boom, exploded. So caramelized poached pears with a sprinkle of cinnamon sounds amazing. I really enjoyed this one. That one was really good. So next up we have the Limestone Select Batch. This is coming from barrels that are 8 to 9 years old. It is 113 proof, and it has the same mash bill as the last two. So we're just going a little older now. All right, I get dense vanilla, caramel. I want to say I get apples in this aroma or some type of fruit. It's very clean and fresh, but also super sweet too. So far, I have to say that all the aromas are really sweet, which I'm enjoying. I do smell some spices. It's a little spicy, so I want to go with like ginger or clove. It's sweeter, but then it's also a little bit spicier. So let's go in for the taste now. This one is a lot spicier. The spices actually show up in the beginning of the taste. It's also a little tingling right now, but although it was spicy, it still goes down really smooth. I do get some of the cherries in the aroma, just like in Bloodlines. This is packed with baking spices. Pretty good. So it says for the proofs for the small batch for Limestone Heritage, it can range from 112 to 120 plus in proof. Mine, however, was 113. Those deeper and darker. I did say it was like more concentrated. Big but round invitation to taste. That doesn't help me for a nose, but okay. Palette, warm spices, and woodsy earth undertone, showcasing rich layers and plush stone fruits. Yeah, I agree that it was much spicier. There was more earthiness, but I will say that it came off more like spices that were much stronger. Finish broad and long, never muddled, yet clean and delineated. Rather like people put finishes, like just tell me what it is. Just tell me what the finish is. I agree. It was long, it was lingering, it was smooth for me. Overall, really good. Plush stone fruits. Plush stone fruits. I don't know what they're referring to. If they're talking about cherries, they're talking about pears, they're talking about apples. I mean, I did mention apples, so I'm just going to go with that. This is definitely like fall spices, fall fruits. Very sweet, very delicious. Goes down really smooth. Lastly, this pour is a special private stock that I received. Private stock is also 113.6 proof. Okay, I'm going to read the mash bill, but not the notes. So this is a super premium private stock. It is rare and a unique mash bill. The mash bill is 70% corn, 10% honeyed wheat. I've never seen that ever. Honeyed malted barley, and 10% distiller's malt. I don't know what that means, distiller's malt, but it sounds like it's going to be pretty good. Entry proof is 110.4, and I'm getting it at 113. And it says that it's 8 years old. All right, let's try this. Going for the aroma. Wow, it smells like cherry syrup. That was like a very dense sweetness. It's thick and it's creamy. I am getting a lot of vanilla. I'd say more vanilla than caramel. Much sweeter, like aromatically, if that's even a word. I think in this aroma, I'm getting cherries and I'm getting pears. Finally, I can say that I smell pears. This is much fruitier than the small batch. It has a very crisp and clean fruity smell. Overall, really enjoyable. I'm not getting baking spices in this aroma. It's just sweet. So let's go in for the taste. This one goes down really smooth. I do get a lot of spices. It's really tingling, but it goes down really smooth and it tastes like candy. That was really good. Overall, all the finishes ended really sweet, and I love that. I am getting a lot of oakiness in the taste. I really enjoy that. I do like that there was some oak. It helped balances out a lot of the sweetness, but overall, that was delicious. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the tasting that I did for Limestone Heritage Distilling Company. Thank you for sending me these samples. I love giving honest feedback. I think they're really good. If I had to choose a favorite, I think it's the private stock in the Limestone Heritage small batch. These were really good. It gave off a lot of sweetness, a lot of condensed flavors. I did like the oakiness in the private stock, and I really enjoyed the spices in the small batch. I hope you enjoyed the review. Give it a thumbs up if you like this whiskey review, and I'll see you in the next whiskey video. Cheers!